And welcome again. Welcome into the television version of Strategies for Living. I'm marriage and family therapist David McMillan. Thank you for tuning in to Strategies today. And of course, Strategies, we're all about helping us live healthier, happier, more peaceful lives. Body, mind, spirit, relationship. We do that with life strategists. We happen to have a great life strategist today. Get the feathers out of the way. Knuckle dragging chicken farmer.
Or chicken dragging knuckle farmers.
Let me see those knuckles.
No, I shaved on the way over, my friend. You're good.
Robert and Aaron from News Radio 710 Keel.
It's good, David.
With show prep. That's what it's all about.
They told us Charlie Rose would be here. I am disappointed once again.
You know, what can I say? Welcome back, my friends.
Thanks for having us.
What a week. Have you guys caught up on your, what a month for you guys.
My first thought, what are you talking about?
Yeah, are you serious?
Did something happen?
I'm almost caught up on the sleep.
Yeah.
I still need another long weekend where nobody knocks on the door and I can just chill.
Well, that didn't happen today, did it?
No, it didn't.
Listen to this. Listen to this. Aaron McCarty, Crime Stopper.
Yeah, this morning I'm sitting on my patio and I hear crunch, crunch, crunch. Somebody's outside my patio.
Now we're talking, you get up real early.
Yes,
so we're
it's
talking
3:30
like 3:30 in the morning.
Yes. And I look and they're walking around the side of my patio. There's two guys.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's a wooden fence, so they can't see me, but I can see them.
Yeah.
And so I called 911. Turns out they come get me. They go, you got to go with us. I'm like, I know, I got to go get a bath. I got to go to work.
Go to work.
Well, they caught one of them. They caught one of the guys, and he'd broken into one of my neighbor's cars, and
Good for
so
you.
we caught the bad guy today.
She told you the part of the story where she's Aaron McCarty, Crime Stopper.
Yeah.
She didn't tell you the part of the story, why they were back again last night.
Oh, boy.
Because they had met with some measure of success.
Are we talking from Aaron McCarty's
See, they had broken.
hacienda?
I was going to say they had broken into a car on a previous occasion, but I'm not sure that when you leave your car unlocked.
They're still criminals. I stand by
They
that.
still have no right.
I'm not sure that when your car is unlocked, it can be specifically described as breaking into one's car.
Yeah.
On top of that, when they took it for the joyride,
There was a key in the glove box.
There may have been
whatever.
a key. So
And the title.
the car was unlocked. Everything was in there but her cell phone.
Yeah, pretty much.
So why on earth would they have come back?
Never a dull moment.
No, it's never a dull moment with me.
You have said ratings bonanza.
A ratings gold. And she goes, whatever.
Yeah.
You guys, since the last time you've been here, celebrated an anniversary. Congratulations.
We don't like to phrase it that way.
Ew,
It
that
makes
sounds
it,
goofy.
I know.
Yeah.
What did y'all do to celebrate? I heard on what a great show.
You know, the company had a big shindig for us.
As they should.
Gave
You guys.
gave us a nice gift each.
They
Mine
did.
was more valuable.
She
Thank
put
you.
hers on eBay.
Yep.
You guys
I did
have got
not.
something special going on the mornings on News Radio 710 Keel. You really do.
Ew.
Yeah.
And you do. And that's part of the reason that...
Which is why you presented us
That's
Yeah.
with this wonderful gift.
with
And
this
you know,
wonderful
David,
gift.
it stems from this, and I'm going to pretend like he's not here.
Okay.
Okay.
Can we just do that? You and I will just talk.
Yeah, gotcha.
He's a great storyteller.
Yes, he is.
And I love a good story.
Yeah.
And that's what it stems from.
yeah.
That's what I listen and I love it. And when he tells a story that I'm like, oh, that's kind of nutty. I tell him he's nutty.
How much time do we have till the break?
Plenty.
Okay. Speaking of stories, Friday was Veterans Day.
Yes.
And if you have not heard the story about her father, a Bronze Star winner at the Battle of Okinawa in, I think it was May of 1945.
Yeah.
As brutal, as meaningful a battle, a victory to the war, the Pacific Theater as there ever could have been.
Strategic, yes.
It
absolutely.
was, well, it's your story, it's your dad.
Dad was 19. Imagine that, a kid.
A kid.
Just a kid.
Yeah.
Like these kids at Bipsy.
Like these kids at
Who's
Bipsy.
1 year out of high school? Everybody's, okay.
Like these kids right now doing things that they shouldn't be doing.
In a foxhole in hot, nasty conditions in Okinawa. I mean, it's just miserable.
Yeah.
And he's being fired upon, all his Marines, buddies. And he's running into open fire and he's pulling guys out, kind of like Forrest Gump. You saw it in Forrest Gump?
Except Forrest Gump was maybe, in the movie, you figure 300 or 400 yards. In her father's case, it's maybe 20 or 25, i.e. the distance from us to the walls.
Right.
And you know that when we talk about heroes and people we should look up to, those are the guys. Dad never spoke about it, David. Never talked about it. Never said a word to me. Came home and was a great dad.
Yeah.
You know, 6 kids.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the only girl. Of course, I was the favorite. But he, you know, he never said a word about it.
Wow.
Never talked about it at all.
When she was telling the story, and I guarantee you, and I mean this in the most flattering way, if she's told that story once, she's told it 20 times.
I've heard it several
And
times, and I get tears every time I hear it.
single time she gets better at telling it.
Yeah.
And she added this time something, it was awesome. And she talks about, and she had found, what was the Ronald Reagan line from the Ronald Reagan's Veterans Day? They never had the chance, so many never had the chance to come home and be revered as old men. And
Think
she
about
talked
that,
about
yes.
her father who fought at Okinawa bravely, and that's putting it mildly,
Yes.
as did so many others, 18, 19, 20, 21. And she said, of all the men, of all the people that, unlike her father, never had the chance to come home and, what did you say, meet the love of their life?
Yeah, Mom
Yeah.
met the...
And
yeah.
raise
Yeah.
a family.
And raise a family.
And have
a
and
career, yeah.
Those are on Veterans Day. I know there's Memorial Day for those amazing people also. But the point that you made about your dad, whose dreams came true, who got to come home and, like she said, meet the love of his life and raise a family. But to keep in our memories all those who never had that chance.
Okay, so your father is due the honor and respect
Sure,
that we give
sure.
him. Let's juxtapose that against what's happening today. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds that are in the streets and have been over these last few, well, since Wednesday. You guys are on the front lines looking at this daily. You're in a position that most of us are not in.
It's painful, and we may disagree. Robert and I may disagree on that. I love that they're out there protesting because they have the right to in our country. I don't like the violence and damaging people's property.
Yeah.
That's where you cross the line,
Yeah.
and that's where you need to step in.
Yeah.
But we're in a free country,
Yeah.
and God bless them. They disagree. They don't want Donald Trump to be their president.
Okay, here's-
and they have a right to protest.
I totally agree. Here's what I would wonder, and I would ask both of you your opinion here. If we were able to wade into that crowd and randomly pick
The
A sample.
one with the torch.
a sample, yeah.
The one
and
with the rock.
how many of those kids would be able to answer,
Why
what
are you
is-
here?
Why are you here? What is the Electoral College?
Well, she and I have
What-
What are you
talked
mad about?
let's
Did
take
you
it-
even vote?
Did you vote?
Let's
Yeah.
take it a step further in what she and I have talked about. Amidst all the hubbub of professional sports teams, of Colin Kaepernick taking a knee or whatever, how many of those have any idea why? How many could give you the history of, say, theoretically, sports activism or activists in sports? Muhammad Ali, who suffered 3.5 years, well, 4 years.
4 years.
Where he was not allowed to fight.
Right.
Or in the '68 Olympics, John Carlos and Tommy Smith, the Black Power salute.
Yep.
They were banned
Yep.
for
Yep.
life for that simple gesture.
Yeah.
And yet you see Colin Kaepernick and others who take the knee, and the vast majority of the media praises them for that. So how brave do you have to be if there is no punitive action taken against you for that political stance? Would Colin Kaepernick, would any of the others who have taken a knee or raised the fist, if they knew they would not get to play football for 4 years, if Colin Kaepernick knew, if you kneel down, you're done. John Carlos, Tommy Smith, lifetime ban. Do you think Colin Kaepernick would give up that $8 or $9 or $10 million a year salary and take that knee if he knew that those actions and or measures and or punishments would be taken against him. How many players on those NFL sidelines? How many players at the NBA games? Sorry, you're
Great
out for 4 years.
questions.
You can come back in 2020. You can't come back at all. Well, wait a second, I got a sneaker commercial to film. Nope, sorry.
All right, so then back up. Where is the, what's the responsibility of the Roger Goodells?
To police, to sheriff.
Perhaps not to police or sheriff, but
Roger
to...
Goodell's got plenty of problems on his own. He's got to figure out why he's losing 10, 15, 20% of his audience.
You think there may be a relationship there?
Oh, there is.
Well,
Oh, no
you
doubt.
think
Roger
there
Goodell
may
this
be-
weekend says, are the games too long? Are we running too many commercials? What could it be? If you pay attention to everything that's gone on with the NFL since the take a knee controversy has begun, and yet in their PSAs and their commercials and their advertising, they are going out of their way to embrace all things patriotic. I saw an NFL PSA last night where all NFL players are, in addition to the American flag, is Kaepernick a hypocrite for wearing the helmet with an American flag? If you won't salute the flag, your call, not mine.
Right.
The NFL now is putting salute stickers to each salutes to all branches of the armed forces. Some U.S. Army, some U.S. Navy, some Air Force, etc. If you don't
Don't
think,
forget the Marines.
if you don't,
Yeah,
who do
definitely
we know
don't
who may
forget
have
the
two
Marines.
sons in the Marines? If you don't think the NFL, despite what they will verbalize, there's too many penalties, the games are too slow, too many commercials. If you don't think Roger Goodell doesn't know where the problem is and to whom he has to appeal, don't watch what they say, watch what they
Watch
do.
what they do.
At every opportunity over the last 6 to 8 to 10 weeks, it's we love America, we love the military, we love our helmets.
Do you ever get tired of doing what you do here?
Oh,
I mean,
no.
what we're doing right now.
No.
I mean, I was thinking about this coming, and with all due respect, you guys are great at doing what you do. You've
Thank
done
you.
it for years and years. I might pay to do what you guys do every morning.
Shame.
I might pay.
You know what? When they told me, when we made the move from doing a music show on KVKI to
Right.
Keel, they told me, you can just pick up, do what y'all are doing now, and you don't have to play any music, and you can just say whatever you want.
Wow.
Well, for the most part, I get in trouble every now and then,
Yeah.
but for the most part, who gets to do that? Who gets to just talk about whatever they want
And it's
for 3 hours?
And we talk about this all the time. When we first went to Keel, which is the talk format, and we looked at 3 hours every morning. And there's
I
12
remember a conversation you and I had.
I may have told
Yeah.
you. We
Yeah.
looked at that clock and we thought, oh my God, there's 5 6-minute segments or
with no music
we
to
would go,
fill.
Yeah.
What
What are we
the
gonna
hell are we
do?
going to
What are we
talk
gonna
about?
do?
And we would get there at 4:30 in the morning and plan and map out and this, that, and the other. We were going, what are we going to talk about for 3 hours? And having been on that station now for 2.5 years,
We run out of
there's
stuff.
not enough. There's not enough time.
There's not a.
There's
No.
not enough time.
We know what they're going to talk about now. We know what they do talk about, and they talk every day, and it's great. Robert and Aaron, News Radio 710 Keel. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. Let's talk about what's ahead.
Okay.
When we come back, because there's some local stuff still happening
Oh, yeah.
politically. Let's talk about where we go from here.
My honorarium.
You're right.
This is my
It is
honorarium.
my pleasure. We'll be back. More Robert and Aaron here on Strategies. Stay with us.
I think reading's exciting to me.
I think reading's fun. Reading is great and wonderful. Reading is so much fun. It brings out my imagination and it helps me learn. It helps you with everything you need help with.
Reading helps me become a better reader.
It helps me have knowledge and, I can learn stuff from it.
And it helps me learn new things.
It helps me be a writer.
It makes you learn the words more often, and it gets you reading better. And so one day when you grow up, then you'll be a better reader than before.
Well, it helps you understand things in life about stuff that you may not know that's going on in our world.
Some of my friends need help reading. We need reading volunteers because some kids have trouble reading and they need some help.
They may need help because they don't get as much attention as most kids at home to practice.
A lot of third graders don't know how to read, so we need volunteers to help them.
They need help with reading.
Adults can help kids if the kids need help sounding out words.
Volunteers can help them say the words and, help them read.
Please become a reading volunteer to help my friends.
Please step forward.
Please step forward.
Please step forward.
And welcome back into news.
Thank you.
The intimidation, our intimidation factor
Oh,
is
Lord.
non-existent.
Welcome back into the television version of Strategies for Living. I'm marriage and family therapist David McMillan. You're not.
No, we're not.
Am I still on News Radio 710?
You are,
Okay.
yes, you are.
When did that happen?
God, you've been doing that 25?
Do you know this is the 25th year of Strategies for Living?
Wow.
September.
Time to change those shows out, buddy.
That's part of having 25 years in the bag, my friend.
Oh, believe
you
me,
know.
everybody's got three good speeches.
Yeah, exactly. Robert and Aaron from News Radio 710 Keel.
I
Our
ask you a
guest today,
question?
our life strategist.
What is the secret to a great relationship, whether it's a working relationship or a marriage?
I
What
think
is the
we see it.
secret?
I think we see it play out. You guys genuinely like each other. It's a foundation of respect.
God, we talked about this on the radio this
It's a
morning.
foundation of friendship and
No,
respect.
no.
Now,
No.
no, but you're not afraid to get into conflict with
let me
each
tell
other.
you,
No, we're
but
not
there's
at
a
all.
reason for that.
Yeah.
And
Because you know it's going to be okay at the end of it.
no, that's not what we know. Not to contradict.
I've hit him a few times.
Yeah.
David.
No, and you'll agree with me when I tell you. The reason we get along is because within our professional relationship, it is gender free.
Yes.
And I don't mean that in a negative way.
Yeah.
She doesn't think of me as a man.
Yeah.
I don't think of her as a woman.
And it works perfectly.
And it
And-
does. Yeah. And you hear that.
Yeah.
You
So-
hear that.
we're not
the
LGBTQ. We're like XYZ, I guess
Yeah.
is that what we are. I don't know.
But that's the respect I'm talking. Y'all don't. You go beyond. You respect each other as two human beings with two
Okay,
different.
Mr. Therapist,
opinions.
but it's impossible to take that into a male-female relationship. Yes? No?
No, obviously not, because y'all are doing it. It
Well,
is
aren't we rare?
possible.
Don't you
It's
think we're
rare.
rare?
It's rare. Yes, it's
Okay.
rare because ego gets in the
So
way.
you're a rare chicken knuckle
Yeah, you're
farmer.
knuckle-
Yeah,
very
okay.
rare.
Knuckle chicken dragger farmer. But in the confines or the lack of a male-female romantic relationship,
Yeah.
the gender factor can never be eliminated. I mean, the reason.
True.
So how do you do that? As you're looking at two people who are middle-aged, who are both single.
Ow, that hurt. That hurt.
My recommendation would be take a couple of showers together and everything will be
Oh,
fine.
David. Oh, David.
Okay, let's
La,
bring
la,
this
la,
back
la,
around.
la.
Let's bring this back around to sanity,
Earth? Okay,
Earth
yeah.
and sanity.
Ew.
What's ahead? I mean, we have just gone. We've just what you just did. We've just lived through probably the most
You know
historic
what?
week in our
Let
lifetime.
me jump in. The day after the election, just when everybody lived with the misconception we could all go,
Oh no, it's just beginning.
of course.
It's just beginning.
I said to her the morning after the election, on Wednesday morning, I said, if you don't think that meetings will take place, or meetings have already taken place, that will make every attempt over X amount of time to do everything they can do to delegitimize the Donald Trump presidency.
You're seeing it happen.
I said, look, for all intents and purposes, at the ballot box, the Democrat Party they were eliminated. They don't have the executive branch, so they don't have either house, but
Don't have many governorships.
I think it's 19 out of 50.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that they're just going to roll over and say, oh, well, we had an election, we lost, we're going home now.
Absolutely
If you think
not.
for an instant, and look at the occurrences at night across America over the last 5 days. When Hillary Clinton said, let's all get along. When Barack Obama said, peaceful transition. What on earth would make you for an instant think they meant that? Hillary Clinton and the Democratic Party, they screwed Bernie Sanders. He was their guy. And they screwed their own guy.
Yes.
If they would go out of their way, if they would cheat their own people, why would you hesitate to think
They're gonna
that they
cheat
would
all of
play
us.
fair ever?
Yep.
And I would caution too, if you look back to when Barack Obama was first elected, you had the far right wing people, scared, we've elected an African American, it's going to be miserable, he's going to give away and some would say he has done some bad things for the country. But I would say to those who don't agree with Donald Trump's election, give him time. Let's see what he does. Let's see.
I think if Donald Trump is truly as bright as I think he is, he looks at the last 8 years, he looks especially at the election of Barack Obama in 2008, and he looks at it for what it is, a missed opportunity. I believe that, I don't believe that Barack Obama's administration has obviously been successful, but I believe that over history, we will be able to see with a broader lens the missed opportunity. Barack Obama had one heck of an opportunity that he missed in 2008. He made a choice to go far left as opposed to
Center.
where the country was and where the country operates.
I made the point this morning that what Democrats are not doing, at least Democrats of power, they're not looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
I mean, they're saying what this is about
Are you knuckle dragging chicken farm?
I heard a guy, it may have been MSNBC, it may have been late at night on election night on CNN, that anybody who voted for Trump was a knuckle dragging chicken farmer. It could have been chicken dragging knuckle farmer. I don't know.
I loved it.
You're one of them, yeah.
But the point being, and what was his name? Friedman.
Bob Friedman?
No, New York Times columnist.
Yeah.
He was on yesterday, and he was explaining the reason Trump won is because the world is changing so rapidly, and Trump voters were incapable of grasping the nuance, the complexity of I hate to use the term New World Order. So, I guess
that elitism to the
I'm
max?
just stupid.
Yeah.
But here's the point.
Yeah.
Let's assume for the moment, and I think we can all agree, that Donald Trump may have been a flawed candidate. He may have had his faults. He may have
Oh, come on.
maybe one or two little problems.
Yeah.
But what the Democrats aren't asking themselves is, despite the punditry and the analysis of we need to pay attention to real America, middle America, and yet at the same time, what they're not saying to themselves is Donald Trump was a flawed candidate. He was a potential nightmare. Everybody thought he was.
Yes.
So what does it say about us and our candidate and our policies, i.e. Hillary Clinton, and Obamacare, and open borders, and the list goes on, 20 trillion in debt, we can do this all day. What does it say,
Robert?
about the Democrat Party and their candidate and their policies that so many people, especially middle America, Rust Belt states, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Wisconsin, West Virginia, that those people were willing to accept Donald Trump with his flaws,
Robert,
and turn their backs on Clinton and the Democratic Party policies?
Robert, if the Democrat Party is courageous enough and smart enough to be able to ask themselves those kinds of questions, the answers and the evolving will make this country a greater country.
Well, so much
a
for that
greater
idea.
nation.
That's not going to happen.
It probably won't.
Look,
but let's hope it will.
you've
because-
got-
I hope.
Because
No,
I
you've got rent-a-mobs out there, David. These are George Soros, MoveOn.org.
Right.
He admits that.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the videos they don't show you of the
That's
bus.
going to die down, though.
Of
That's
the-
going to die down.
We better
We're
hope.
going to move into business.
We gotta
He's
hope.
going to start enacting legislation. He's got a Republican Congress now.
The
He can
efforts-
he
No
can get stuff
excuses
done.
anymore.
Yes,
No excuses.
none.
The efforts to undermine the legitimacy of a Trump presidency are not going to end once the inauguration takes place.
You know what, guys? We need about 3 more hours. So, guys, if you're watching us, let me tell you what you do. You want 3 more hours? News Radio 710 Keel, weekday mornings, Robert and Aaron. It is a pleasure. You guys can come in. In fact, you can co-host the show
And you come
next
join
time.
us,
Okay.
please.
Tell me when. I'll be
Okay.
there. Folks, tune in. News Radio 710 Keel, Robert and Aaron in the morning. For Strategies for Living, I'm marriage and family therapist David McMillan. Gather your feathers. We'll see you next time.